Judas was very close to Jesus. Judas was hoping, perhaps unknowingly, that he would be Jesus' successor. It was not intentional towards being the successor, but he was so close to Jesus that it was assumed that it will be Judas who will succeed Jesus. Jesus showered his love and blessings on Judas, but the day Jesus says, "Nobody is going to be my successor. I have not come here to create a dynasty. My kingdom is of the other world, the kingdom of God." The day Jesus said this, the distance of just 1 foot became a distance of thousands of miles. That same night, Judas betrayed Jesus. He sold Jesus to the enemies for only 30 pieces of silver coins. Of course, it was done in a very emotional, hasty way, in a very unconscious manner. This is how you all behave when you become angry. In a very emotional, hasty way, unconsciously, you do some utter stupidity. This is how your anger, your ignorance leads you to much suffering and pain. That is why Buddha says, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. When Judas sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, he was not aware of what exactly he was doing and what it was going to lead to. On the day Jesus was crucified, Judas was in the crowd with tears in his eyes, and he threw away those 30 pieces of silver. He didn't think that this was going to be the consequences of an act done in anger, in rage, in frustration. 24 hours after Jesus' crucifixion, he hanged himself from a tree and committed suicide. Anger comes when you become ignorant, selfish, and there is absolutely no consciousness to your existence. That is when you commit a terrible, horrible act. Sin happens only when you are not conscious of what you are doing. That is the time when sin happens. In the absence of consciousness, sin happens. The negative energies, that is the black magician, the witch, try to invoke negativity within you, try to pull you away from your consciousness, and if you become a victim to their games, then sooner or later you commit a sin that later you regret heavily. Judas committed suicide. It is a sign of deep regret. A saint was asked, "What is anger?" The saint smiled and gave a beautiful answer. He said, "It is punishment we give to ourselves for somebody else's mistake." Christians don't talk much of Judas, but it has always happened with all divine masters. It is a strange thing that those who were close have gone far away, and those who were far away had never thought, had never dreamed of being very close, have came close. Buddha was betrayed by his cousin brothers. Mahavira was betrayed by his son-in-law. In both cases, the situation was the same as Judas. Because they were so close, they naturally hoped, without being conscious, that they were going to be the successors. It has always happened. It is always happening. Visit any ashram, any monastery, and you will find the one who is very close to the master is unconsciously thinking of being the successor. But tell me, who can be the successor to Jesus? Who can be the successor to Buddha, to Mahavira? Nobody. If God wanted, then He would have created hundreds of Jesus, hundreds of Gautam Buddha, hundreds of Mahavira. But God created only one Jesus, one Buddha, one Mahavira. And the same God has also created one you. But ignorance leads you to becoming, when in reality you should be yourself. Always be yourself. Don't try to become.